One of the 3 mitzvot especially given to women is the mitzvah to make challah. This involves removing a piece of dough, saying a blessing, and raising up that piece of dough. This mitzvah is found in the Torah in Numbers chapter 15. Truthfully, I was never interested in making challah or the mitzvah attached to it. For many years, I regarded myself as not earthy enough to bake bread. My husband, who's a pianist who liked to exercise his hands by kneading dough, often made challah for Shabbat. And since the mitzvah of taking challah is a woman's mitzvah, when the dough was ready, I would mosey over, say the blessing, break off a piece of dough, which I thought was the way to do the mitzvah. His challah was moist, but for me, my mitzvah was very dry. Then, about 5 years ago, a woman named Sara Rigler came to our neighborhood and started teaching a course about the mitzvah of challah. Of course I didn't go. One day my friend Beatty asked me why I wasn't coming to the challah class. "I'm not earthy enough to bake challah," was my flippant reply. "Earthy?" Beatty replied, appalled. "Don't you know that the mitzvah of challah draws down 4 blessings into the world? Healing, livelihood, tshuva, and faith? It's the most spiritual thing you can do." So I went to the class, and my mind was blown by the profundity of the mitzvah of challah. I couldn't imagine how the teacher could fill up 6 weeks talking about one mitzvah. But the class continued for months and just kept getting deeper and deeper. Then one week our teacher announced that the following week we would be having a special 2-hour class on the halachot, meaning the laws of how to do the mitzvah properly. I thought, come on, how could it take 2 hours to learn how to do one mitzvah? Well, guess what? I was doing the mitzvah wrong. No wonder I didn't feel anything. Now I bake challah about twice a month, and it's the spiritual highlight of my month. I don't answer the phone or talk to anyone while I'm engaged in putting in the ingredients, each with its own symbolism, or kneading the dough, which is when I pray for everyone I know who needs healing, or to get married, or to have a baby, or livelihood, or a spiritual turnaround. And I also pray for Israel's missing soldiers while I knead the dough. All these prayers are like loading the freight compartment of an airplane. When I actually perform the mitzvah itself, all my prayers are lifted up with the mitzvah. When it's actually time to perform the mitzvah of elevating a piece of the dough, my teenage daughter stands next to me and says amen to my blessing and to the prayers I utter before and after. Even she senses that there's something profound taking place, and that's saying a lot for a teenager. And one more point. I know women who complain that they don't get to do the men's mitzvot, like putting on tefillin or wearing a tallis. I tell them, before you get jealous of the men for the mitzvot that pertain to them, tell me, are you doing the mitzvot that pertain to women, which are challah, candle lighting, and mikvah? If not, you don't know what you're missing.